Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Monday and it is hot as Hades here in Oregon. So I have a bunch of different fans on to keep myself cool and to keep my pencils from melting. So if you hear a fan, I'm sorry. Let me know if it gets too loud, that sort of thing. Hello Dawn. Wicca, good to see you. I'm glad that you finally got some notifications. Welcome back. Back on night shift. Yay! Hello, Alex. Hello, Britt. Hello, Celine. Hello, all you out there in Lurker land. So today we are going to be coloring in Enchanting World by Julia Spiri. And we will be coloring with, and this is all Alex's fault, just saying. Don't blame me, blame Alex. The Prismacolor Verathins. She said Prismacolor, she did not say which one. So we're going to use the Verathins. Aspie! Hello Aspie, how are you today? Hopefully it's not too cold out there. Hello, Calamity. Welcome back. It's always Alex. That's right. So, this is all Alex's fault, just so you know. I do have the Prisma Premiers on standby if I find that the larger areas are hard to do with the Verathins, or if I need more colors. Hello, B. How are you? Hopefully everyone is doing fine on this wonderful hot Monday. There are 36 Verathins. Let me see. Yeah, 36 Verathins. Yep, blaming you. Completely your fault. You're the one that said Prisma. You did not specify. Sorry. Yes. It is your turn to be nice and cool, Celine and Aspie. Hopefully it's not too cold. Hello, Sue. Welcome. All right, so of course, Nightbot can't forget Nightbot. So hello, Nightbot. So just a quick run through. We are doing a hashtag Julia in July 2024 featuring the works of Julia Spiri. Julia does have a 50% off discount on her Etsy at this point in time, so make sure that you go check it out. I can't verify how long that sale is going to be going on. She is available on YouTube in book form as well as on Etsy in PDF form. So check her out. She's a wonderful, wonderful lady and a fantastic artist, and it has been fabulous watching her grow over the years. All right, so the Verathins are a harder pencil. They are not made the same way that the Prisma Premiers are. The Prisma Premiers have a really soft wax and are a thicker core. The Verathins are a thinner core and a harder wax, so they blend with the Premiers quite well, but they are one of those detail pencils, something that you would use more for those tiny details than in larger areas. Yes. All right. So, and Celine, I do believe that you are behind, darling. Just letting you know. All right, guys, going to switch on over to the regular camera here, and we're going to turn on this light so that we don't get a lot of shadow, and move it down just a touch. There we go. This is the page that we're going to be working on today, and because of all the smaller details, the Verathins are going to be very helpful. So we're going to start off with our our gray. So we have a dark gray and a light gray. So we have warm gray 20% and cool gray 70%. They do have the same names as the Prisma Premiers. They do not have the same numbers. So I will call out the names so that you guys can work along with me if you're using the Premiers. Like I said, the Verithins are a good pencil. They are just a little bit thinner and a little bit harder than the Premiers. Yes, mushrooms! Lurky, lurky, exclamation point lurk. If you're going into lurk mode, we'll give you a wonderful, wonderful lurk message from Aspie, who has written that wonderful lurk message for me. I guess I can zoom in a little bit more for you, perhaps. I'll zoom into where I'm working. Alright, so we're going to work on this castle here. And that way you can actually see what I'm doing. I'm just going around the edges, through the shadow areas. Julia has put in some good shadow areas, putting in those details of the bricks as well. There's a little flag there. I do believe that's book back there, so I'm not going to color that part gray. Hello, Catherine. Oh, yuck, I'm sorry. Hello, butterflies. Nope, they are not sandcastles. They are brick, gray brick castles is what they're going to be. It is a fantasy picture of unicorns and castles and fairy tales. Again, I'm just going around the details, getting those a little bit showing up there. So how is everyone? I hope everyone's doing okay out there. Like I said, out here it's a little bit warm. Today was approximately 110. That is just too warm for my Canadian blood. They do kind of look like lollipops, don't they? And tomorrow is going to be another hot one, and then we're supposed to cool down, so. Let me know if I'm lagging at all. Sometimes the heat will cause some issues with the internet, and I don't want to deal with internet issues. I have enough issues of my own, don't need to deal with their issues too. I did. I told you I was going to. She said Prisma. She did not say Premier. Just saying. Not my fault. Blame Alex. Yeah, it's just too warm. Too hot. I don't like hot. Yesterday it did not cool down in my house until almost 5 o'clock in the morning. Well, last night and into this morning. So I think I got maybe an hour's sleep. But that's okay. Once it cooled off in the house a little bit this morning, I was able to go and take a little bit of a nap. So I'm good to go. So as you can see, the tip on the Verithin is quite minuscule. And that's one of the things about the Verithins that makes it great for doing small detail work. They are, again, a harder pencil, so you're going to get a really sharp tip. So make sure that you're not working on really heavy-handed coloring. Otherwise, you're going to cut into your page a little bit too much and give yourself lines that won't come out. Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah, no, I don't go out in the sun. Since I got sick, I get burnt really quickly, very easily, and it stays with me for a long time. So I try not to go out in the sun. Yeah, my long guys didn't show up. I don't know if it was the heat or if they've gone to the next schedule, because I have them scheduled for once a month, once a week, and then once every 2 weeks, and then once a month through the summer, because the grass doesn't grow so much in the summer. All right, I think that's most of the shadow areas that we want to cover. And that I want to be a different color. Okay, I think that's it for that. Yeah, exactly, butterflies, exactly. Yeah, I wish it was cooler. Alright, so now I'm using warm gray 20% on the stairs. And then we're going to grab a couple of Prisma Premier grays because the Verathins only has 2 grays. The one thing about the Verathins is that if you're using them with your Prismas and you put down the Premier first, this will lift off some of your Premier. So you have to be kind of careful of that. So I'm going to go with a bit of a darker warm gray. Those are French. I need warm. There we go. That was 20%, so I'm going to go with this one, which is 50%. And I'm going to sharpen it and hope my sharpener doesn't eat it. I don't know. I hope not. So this one is 50% warm gray out of the Prisma Premier. And I'm just doing the detail areas. And putting in the shadow. Hello, Callie. Oh, you got a big fly. Yeah, we get them here. It's really bad in the early summer and the late summer. All right. Then we're going to come back with that 20% in the Verathin and go back over it. The one thing I do notice when it's really hot, it makes my breathing a little bit more labored. It seems to make me blow up a little bit. Don't like it. Alright, so there we have our stairs done. And dust that off. Now we're going to take 50% cool gray. That's this one. That's 70. Okay. And we're just going to extend the shadow out a little. Yeah. Oh, that is okay, Aspie. I hope your eyes start working better soon. It might be too early in the morning for you. Though it's midday there, isn't it? Noelle. I am sorry I did not say hello to you when you came in. I missed you coming in. And hello to all those out there in Lurker land. Exactly. Exactly. All right, now for 20%. This is 20% cool gray. That's a fantastic motto. The only thing is that where the office is, well, even where the office was, where the coloring corner was before, and where the coloring corner is now, the area gets too warm, so I have to be careful. My computer likes to keep things really toasty. Just getting all these colors blended together here on the main part of the castle. Okay. Now we're going to take that cool gray 70%. We're going to outline the windows. So this is a Verithin. We're actually going to take the black and we're just going to shade it in. Like so. All right. Hello, Marcy. All right, hurry back. Hello, Dion. Then we're going to come off of this area here. Again, using the 20%. And then we're going to go a step lower. And this is 10% cold gray. off. And we're going to take our very thin cool gray into those deeper shadow areas. In the floor area there. I'm sorry that you're buffering. I don't know why you're buffering. If anybody else is buffering, let me know. I'm not having any problems with my frames, but you may need to refresh. Like I said, I'm not having any issues with the frame drop or anything, so I'm not sure why it's buffering. Britt, welcome to the Pixies. If we can get an exclamation point love in the chat for Britt, please. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you. And welcome to the Pixies. It's just you. It's just you, Alex. I'm sorry. Alright, so this part here, no, I'm going to erase that because that's not what I want to do there. I was going to put some soft gray there, but that's not what I want to do there. I want it to add a little bit more color now that we've got our base colors down for the castle. So now we're going to start adding some color to the roof line. So we're going to do the roofs and the bands around the roof lines a little bit different. So we're going to grab this one, terracotta, Tuscan red, and I think goldenrod. Yeah. Alright, so because these are quite small, and I don't think I have anything in, yeah, no. So these we're going to try to do a copper. So I'm using the goldenrod first as the base color. So we're going to do these in a shiny copper. And we may need darker brown as well. Which ones do we have here? Dark umber. It's a little bit dark, but dark brown is okay. So starting off with the goldenrod, and you can do this with the Prisma Premiers as well. The Verathins, it just takes a little bit longer because it's a harder wax, so it doesn't layer in a smooshing ability like the Premiers do, which to me is fantastic. And then the terracotta. Hopefully you guys can see the color. And now I have a tickle in my throat. Gotta take a drink. That's awesome. All right, and then we're going to do, and all of these are the Verathins that I'm using. Like I said, you can do this in the Premier. I am now using Tuscan Red. Because the core of the Verathins is so much thinner, it takes a little bit longer to get coverage when you're doing large areas. So if you're doing a really large area, I would not suggest using the Verathins. But for these smaller details and these smaller pages, they actually work very, very nicely. What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, yes, the new book. Um, yeah. I do believe that Bob pre-ordered it for my birthday. I have to ask him if that was the one that he said wasn't coming until August. He probably won't tell me because he won't want to ruin the surprise, so. All right. Now I'm just going over very lightly with the goldenrod, blending those colors in and deciding whether I need the brown or if I need more of the terracotta or that sort of thing. I think I need a little bit more of the terracotta coming down off the top there. And maybe a little bit of the brown in the shadow here. So now we're using dark brown. And then we'll decide if we still need the terracotta. I think I do want to add just a bit more of the terracotta. No, Lana Green is not my favorite illustrator. I am working on Lana Green's Garden Lady book, and I have committed myself to finishing that book before the end of the year. Well, before Christmas. I do want to use the completed works as one of my Christmas gifts to a friend of mine. So. One of my favorite artists is Julia. Julia is a really great artist, and Selena Finesh is another one of my favorites. Let's see. I have so many. Christine Caron. I love them all. Next month, we're not going to be coloring anything with a face. So next month is going to be anything but. Alright, so there we have our first copper top. And we're going to brush that off. And then we're going to take our little itty bitty blender. We're just going to soften up any of those edges. And brighten up the color. Now I am doing this in the book, and the book is fairly soft, so don't press too hard, otherwise you're going to end up putting that indent on the page behind your page. So be careful of that. Britt, I just did a beginner's guide tutorial for the adult coloring from the beginning series on basic skin tones. You're welcome to watch that if it helps. I will also be doing more on skin tones and hair and that sort of thing as well, with other colored pencils and other skin tones. On average, depending upon how I'm feeling, how long I stay in Discord, how hot it is. Last month, even though I was on vacation for some of the month, I do believe I got 6 or 8 done. On average, I usually do about 8 to 10 because I do at least 4 on the streams here, at least 1 on the beginner's guide, and then my offline ones, so ones that I do just for me. Backgrounds are hard. There are some pictures that just really don't need them. And then there are some pictures that just need just a little bit, just something extra. And usually with those, I just put a small amount of prominent color in the picture or a highlight color in the picture behind the object. So again, I'm just doing the exact same thing I did on the first one. I used the goldenrod, the terracotta, and then the Tuscan red. Going to go back over it with the goldenrod and see if I need to add any of the dark brown, which I probably will, because I think this is a little bit too red. The practice pages, Britt, for that tutorial are available in the comment section. So if you want to practice, you can download those, print those off, and practice until you feel more comfortable with doing them. Goodness, it gurgles. My tongue is gurgle. It's probably because I'm drinking soda water. Gas bubbles. Now I'm using that dark brown. Then we're just going to go over it again with the and then we're going to blend that out. Again, not pressing too hard. I already feel that I've indented the page behind, so I'll have to work with that on that page. All right. Now these ones here, I think I want to do, I think I want to do them in a antique copper. So that has a lot more green to it. So we're gonna start aging this copper a little bit. We're going to start adding a little bit more green to it around the edges. So I'm going to go a little bit lighter with all the colors. Hello, Angela. And we're going to start adding some green. I think olive green. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Caledon green out of the Prismacolors. Out of the Premiers. Thank you. All right, and then we're just going to start bringing in that green here. And then we're going to bring in the terracotta. How are your eyes doing, Marcy? Sorry, I forgot to ask. I hope you are doing well and healing quickly. I'm glad you're doing good today. And then the Tuscan red. And then the dark brown. Yes, it is too darn hot, isn't it? Awesome. I'm glad that it's doing really well. All right. And then we're going to go back in. Your message disappeared. I can still see it. Just saying. I don't know if anybody else can, but I can. Sometimes I do. I do mix the Verathins and the Prisma Premiers because of the fact that the Premiers are not great for detail work. They do squish a little more to than my liking. So the Verathins work really, really well in getting into those detail areas and those smaller areas. Yep. Although it is cooler up in Washington than it is in Oregon and California right now, so it is coming up your way. Like I said, it was over 100 degrees today on, like on my front porch. Like currently in my studio, even with the air conditioning on, the fans all blowing and everything else, it's still almost 80 degrees in here. So it's too warm. All right, so there we have our little area there. Going to do the same thing here. So we're going to add that green, slowly changing the color of the copper into that aged copper look. We might add a little bit on these as well. We'll see. These ones here were done recently, so yeah. It's my story and I'm sticking to it. So we added the Caledon green, the goldenrod, and now we're going to go in with the terracotta. And now I'm covering the entire majority of it with the terracotta, even over top of the green. I'm going a little bit heavier on top of the green and leaving that center area a little bit lighter. And then the Tuscan red. Yeah, the mixture between the polys and the prismas are a little bit more difficult, with the fact that polys are an oil-based and the prismas are a soft wax-based. So they sometimes don't blend very well together. With the prismas and the varathins coming from the same manufacturing process, it's just a little bit of a harder wax than the prismas. It does make them a little bit easier to blend together. But I have blended my polys and my prismas when needing to do detail work before I got the varathins. And it does work. It just takes a little bit of patience. So if it does seem like it's not working as well as you want it to, just persevere through, push through, and be very patient with it. It will work out in the end. Just adding a little bit more of that green. And then we're going to take our blender and move them all together. If you add gray and green, you'll get more of that antiqued look. So when copper starts to age, especially if it's on a roof line because it gets wet, it slowly starts to turn green. So even in your house, if you have a copper set of pots and pans that you use often, you will notice that they will start to turn green as they age. So adding that gray-green color gives it that aged coppery look. All right, now for this roof here, which is a brick roof, we're going to start with terracotta. This book is Julia Sperry's Enchanting World. So, An Enchanting World. I'm just putting a base coat of the terracotta down. I know the rest of the bricks we did gray, but the roof brick we're going to do red just so that it blends in with the copper roofs. No, this is a book. Yeah, she does have books. Um, you can get it. I do believe you can get this book as a PDF, and I do believe you can get this page as a PDF on her Etsy. Now we're using the Tuscan Red. Absolutely. And hello, Katrina. I am so sorry I missed you coming in. I hope you are doing well. I haven't seen you in a live in a while. I hope you're doing okay. There's a few people I haven't. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for that information, Sue. So it is available on Etsy for this image. And she is currently having a 50% off sale on her Etsy. So, go on over there and send her some love and give her a couple of purchases. The link is in the description below the video for her Etsy shop as well as for her Amazon shop. So, all right, and then we're going to take our brown. Thank you. And get that shadow in there. I am doing good. Other than overheating, I am doing good. And now we're going to take our goldenrod and we're just going to put in a little bit of a highlight. Down the center here. And then we're going to take our terracotta again. And build that color up. Hello, Shannon. Are you having a day? I think Shannon's having a day. Alright, then we're just going to take our blender and bring those colors together and brighten it up a little bit. Then we're going to do the same thing with this roof line here, but we're going to do this front part with the copper. So we're going to do this part here with the copper, and we're going to put in the green part. So then we're going to take the green, and we're going to do that up there as well. Oh no! Ah, okay. Did the dogs get put to bed? Oh, your act is fine. Take your time, dear. So I'm just going back and forth between the terracotta and the goldenrod. I'm going to go over this entire area with the goldenrod, and then we're going to go over the entire area with the terracotta. And we're going to put a little bit more pressure on the terracotta, and then we're going to take a little bit of the brown. We've already added that green-gray. And then we're just going to take our blender and blend it together. Up here I've used a lot more of that green-gray because that part there is going to get a lot more of that weathering. Yes, I bet that was a lot. I am not envious at all. I am not envious whatsoever for you. Having one at a time that age, I was, not having them in age range was great. Alright, so we're using the terracotta. Then we're going to come in with the Tuscan red. And just a little bit of the goldenrod in the center here. And then again, actually let's add a little bit of that dark brown to the edge here and under here. Put in a bit of that shadow. And then terracotta. And there's that roof done. All right. And there we have that part finished up. Now we're going to take our black and I accidentally sharpened this on the wrong end. So don't do that. Just saying. So we're going to take our black and we're going to come in through here because this is actually the back of a tunnel, not an actual doorway. That's why it's curved here. So we're going to just fill in the darkness of the tunnel. Doing the darker areas on the edges and coming down. And then we'll take yeah, that sounds like a wild bunch. Yeah. But I bet you made them all listen and they all did really, really well and behaved themselves, right? You didn't make any of them cry or, you know? And you have all your hair. I'm assuming. You may have yelled. Well, sometimes in a loud room you gotta yell so that people hear you. You didn't yell at anyone specifically or upset anyone specifically. Sorry, I did not realize I was off screen. Shannon is streaming on Tuesdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and Thursdays at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do believe that is 11 Eastern and 11 Central and 12 Eastern. Yes, I would have lost my brain. Where did I go? I went somewhere. Oh, yeah. My kid's house. And all the dogs were barking at the same time, and it did the exact same thing to me. My sensory overload went into overdrive, and I had to leave. I love my kid, and I don't mind the dogs, but all the noise at the same time, and I'm quite sure that that would have calmed down once they got to know us, but we didn't really have time to do that. Yep. Well done. Well done. It is time to go. That is what is happening, little one. Just going to quickly do a bit of a blend on the castle itself, just because I want it to be a little bit more cohesive. I can see it starting to bloom a little bit, and I don't like that. So when in doubt, blend it out. And I want the castle to be fairly. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. Yep, that would You don't say no. When somebody says you get out, you mean you get out. Yeah. Yeah, the little one that I used to babysit used to get very upset with me when I would not take no for an answer, and was not the you really shouldn't do that. When I say no, yeah, no, that doesn't fly with me. That is not the way that went at all. Little feet are dangling and kicking. Yep. 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 Off we go. All right, we're going to do the same thing here. Now, because this is a daytime picture, all of these windows are not going to have, and doors are not going to have a light source in them, so that's why I'm coloring them all in black. All right, now for the little rings on our towers. Let's see. We're going to do those purple, because why not? I like purple. And I don't blame you there at all. Nope, wouldn't be doing it either. So we're going to start with violet. Yeah, I don't argue with children. You do as you're told when you're told to do it, or suffer the consequences. I can't with these parents that try to have a conversation while their child is having a temper tantrum. Welcome back, Marcy. Yeah, I had leftovers in the fridge, so I made a quick uh, stir fry and called it good. So I'm just putting in the shadow areas in the violet. There's talking them down and then there's placating. And it's these parents that give in and give them everything they want just to stop them from screaming. Those bother me. And that was Parma Violet. Going back with the violet, getting that shadow in there. Going down below as well. Like, no, if you're going to act a fool just because you want something, then you ain't getting it. That's just not the way this goes. And then we're going to use a bit of dahlia. Yeah. Using a bit of dahlia purple down here. And then a bit of Parma Violet. And we're going to take our black. Yeah, exactly. All right. And then exactly. If I am giving you that look, you better stop. I'm just saying. My kids know that look very, very well and learned very quickly that if I'm giving you that look, you better stop. The mom glare. All right. Now we're going to take our Parma Violet. It's getting warm in here. And not only letting the electronics raise them, but also not giving them consequences. Even at that small age, they do need to understand the consequences for actions. They do need to understand what no means, and they do need to understand what happens if you don't obey when somebody says no. And a lot of these kids are not getting that instruction. They're not getting the reinforcement that no means no. No means we're going and we're going now, not 10 minutes from now when you decide that you want to go. And then Parma Violet again. Again, I'm using the Verathins, so I'm using a really extremely light hand so that I don't cut into the page and I don't press into the page behind. These are a really hard pencil, and you will find that you get a lot of breakage and a lot of markings on the page if you're not really light-handed with them. All right. And then we're going to take our blender. I almost had a panic attack before the stream. I noticed my blender was getting really, really short. And I haven't seen my blenders since I moved into the office space here. So I had to search the entire space for my blenders. And of course they were in the very last place I looked. Well, the very last place I could think of looking. I looked in all the other places first. And there they were, right under my desk in the extras bucket, Yep. Mine was a giant wooden spoon or the fan belt to the logging truck. Those were our consequences. Mom, it was the wooden spoon, which was my grandmother's, which she used on her children. It was a hand-me-down beating spoon. And with Dad, it was the fan belt off of a logging truck. Or you had to go out and cut your own switch, yeah. Alright, next is this one here. So again with the violet. Yeah. But, I only got hit with it once. I knew better after the first time. It only took once. Or those little paddles that you used to get for Christmas with the ball that tied to it that the ball never stayed on. Yeah, that was another one. I preferred those because they didn't hit as hard. If Mom couldn't find her wooden spoon and she was really mad, she'd spank your butt with one of those. Wow! Goodness. I bet the other class was a little shocked. I bet you were extremely shocked, but I bet the other class was a little shocked too. Exactly. Exactly, Catherine. Exactly. Oh. Take it you weren't supposed to be over there? Oh, for paddling. Okay, I understand. But why into the other class? Wouldn't she want to do that in the class that you were in so that the classmates would understand what happens? Or my goodness. Yeah, that's one thing I was never much of in school was a talker. I didn't like people. People didn't like me. I was happy with that. Did my schoolwork. Tried to keep my head down. Yeah. You told us that story. Now, geometry was probably your best subject. Alright. And then we've got this one here and this band down here. And this part up here. And then the castle is done. Oh dear. Exactly. Exactly, Catherine. It will never happen because it's just not something that a lot of parents would allow. So yeah, if you still have it, that'd be really cool to see. Yeah. Egging the boys on is something that you would definitely get in trouble for. All right, and then down here. Now this is a part of the book, so we're going to color that the book color. Gargamel. Didn't anybody ever tell her that there is no wrong way of coloring things? Shush. What do you mean it's the wrong color? Although I did get a lot of that too. Yeah, color it the right color. It's like, okay, well. And I think that's why I'm a realist in my coloring, because I was told so many times you have to have it the right color. I don't blame you. I don't like yellow buses. Nice, Catherine. I saw that. Yep. When your mom is your teacher, all right. And there we have the castle finished. Oi, yeah, no. No, I had some cruddy teachers, but the only thing I ever got hit with was the long ruler, and the one of my teachers used to like to hit you with other things. All right, so there is our castle. I'm going to zoom you back out a little bit, and we're going to move on to something else. No, out, not in, out. There we go. So we've got this other house over here, which is the unicorn's house. So we're going to actually do the unicorn's house in different pinks. So we're going to do magenta, deco pink, and a little bit of light peach, I think. Maybe some purples. You didn't hear fireworks? I missed somebody coming in. Hello, Blue Daisy. How are you? Oh yeah, no. There was somebody here on, was it night before last, that was blowing them off down the street for hours. They didn't stop here until after almost 4 o'clock in the morning, and then they continued for hours the next night. They had a party down there. The music was so loud that I could hear the words to the music, and they're like half a mile away. Quarter of a mile away. It's like, wow, that's impressive. Ah, yes. Yeah, they're not all right. I'm going to move that down a little bit. Wrong way. Down. There we go. So you actually can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Yeah, if you're way out in the country, then more than likely it's gunshots or pew pew shots, sorry, um, from hunters and farmers. If you come back and this video is no longer available, you know why. Because Renee said the wrong word. Yeah. And then Deco Pink. Going right over top of that magenta. Blending it in. And come back through. Soften it up a little. Fill in the window frames. Yeah, it is definitely a thing for them. PTSD is one of those things that happens, especially with the traumas of war, and those booms and bangs can be a huge problem. My dog used to just freak. Yeah, that is too hot. I don't know what it is here in Celsius, but the last time I looked at the temperature before coming in here, it was 106 out on the front porch, which is in the shade at this time of day. Which is just too warm. Alright. So I'm just going back and forth with the magenta and the deco pink, and building that color up and blending things in. Something in that one. 222 degrees Celsius is, yeah, that's insane. No, 105 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. My goodness. That's like hotter than we'd all be dead. I'm just saying. Yes. I'm using the Prismacolor Verithins for anybody that just came in. I am supplementing with the Prismacolor Premier when I need a different color or a extra color that the Verithins does not have. For all you out there that are going, I really hate Verithins, it is Alex's fault. I'm just saying. All you out there that voted for Prismas but did not specify which Prismas. It's all your faults. Alright. Now I'm leaving some areas open, and we're going to use the light peach in those areas just to give it a little bit more of a daytime highlight. Alright, so now we're going to come through with the peach. I'll blend that a little bit more. Color erase. Are those a Prisma product, or? I don't think I have those. .4 degrees here right now. Hello, dear. in the Celsius. Alright, just blending that in, using that light peach for our highlight as well as our blend. Bringing all three of those colors together. And I'm going to do these two blanket things a different color. That's why I've left them blank. Same with this. I'm going to do that a different color as well. I have not bought the Harmonious, but I do not hate Castle Arts. I have not bought them because they are they're not expensive, but they're spending money when I can't spend any money right now. When I shouldn't spend any money right now. So, and I don't need them. I have a lot of colors that are the same. They're a very muted gray tone kind of color, so I do have a lot of pencils in the Brute Puner 520 set, as well as in the Felicimo set that are representing those color families, so and that color range, so I can use those instead. Alright, so this part up here we're going to do a lot darker. So we're going to go right under. I'm going to turn the book here a little bit and hopefully stay on the screen. Now I'm going to put in a heavier hand with the magenta in the shadow areas and a lighter hand everywhere else. But I'm still going to put that magenta everywhere. And then we're going to go over it with the Deco Pink. That is not true. At some point when some of the medical bills get dealt with, I will possibly look at them, but I did order some things before we got the medical bills in, which will be arriving here sometime in the next week or two. But then the medical bills started coming in and I went, oh dear. It's a good thing it wasn't a whole lot that I spent. I don't spend a whole lot if I can avoid it. Alright. Now I'll come down here. Bring that down a little bit more, I think. Trying to avoid having that hard shadow there. There we go. Okay. All right, Britt, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. And again, thank you very much for becoming a Pixie. I do appreciate it. Have a fabulous evening. Just blending these colors together, A, to brighten them up, and B, just to soften up those edges a little bit. Like so. All right. And it is that time, so I'm going to zoom you all the way out. When we come back on Saturday, we will finish up with the other unicorn house as well as the background. The background and the book areas we may use a different product for, but we will finish the mushrooms, all the little trees, the little everything else with the Verathins and the Prismacolors. So I'm just going to zoom you out. Zoom, zoom, zoom. So you can see the whole page. And there we have it so far. And that is, again, Julia Sperry. And we are using the Prismacolor Verathins as well as some of the Prisma Premier colored pencils. I am combining them to create the wonderful pictures that we have here, so that we can get a good color range. All right. Okay, so again, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. Of course, I will be live again on Saturday. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time is Shannon's stream. She is in the chat. It's Color and Craft with Shani Blue. She will be streaming on Tuesdays and Thursdays now, where before she used to stream on Mondays and Thursdays. So make sure that you mark that on your calendar to remind yourself that she has changed times. All right, guys, thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. Of course, again, Britt, thank you so much for becoming a Pixie. And always remember to like, comment, and subscribe to any YouTube artist that you enjoy. And of course, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe, everyone. Until next time, bye-bye for now.